Hello, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. I'm a board-certified consumer bankruptcy attorney, and unfortunately, I've sat where you people are sitting right now today. Now, you may ask yourself, what is a bankruptcy attorney doing talking to parents contemplating divorce? The answer is simple. The relationship between bankruptcy and divorce is undeniable, and in the past 22 years as a consumer bankruptcy specialist, I've observed that divorce ranks third as the leading cause of bankruptcy, only behind job loss and medical bills. Unfortunately, the statistics show divorced people are twice as likely to find themselves in bankruptcy than married people. 63% of individual debtors are divorced or separated, and debtors themselves often identify marital disruption as an important part of their financial collapse. The ultimate goal of divorcing parents is to ultimately obtain a divorce decree. The decree will accomplish many things, but all of which can usually be classified into 4 categories. They are the amount of support to be paid, how the marital property is to be divided, how parenting time will be allocated, and how the marital debt will be divvied up. The problem I've observed over the past 22 years in practice is that it usually takes both parents' income just to make ends meet when they're together. After a divorce, the expenses are doubled with there only being half the income. Simple math will dictate under these circumstances, no matter how strong the desire to pay the bills, there often isn't enough money to pay the obligations. My goal today is to provide you with the useful tools needed so as to hopefully never meet me or one of my fellow bankruptcy colleagues. The first tool, and probably the most important that you're going to need in your new life, is to budget. And you are going to have to budget like you've never budgeted before. In your materials, you're going to find an income page and an expense page that you need to fill out. Only after filling out these forms will you truly know what your household income, expenses, and disposable income are. We've also enclosed in the materials a common expense sheet for those items most people often forget. The second tool that you need to monitor in your new life is your credit. Credit is very important, so when you're ready to buy a new car, a new house, anything on credit, your own personal credit is the key. You need to monitor your credit by getting a credit report. You can obtain a credit report for free by going to annualcreditreport.com. Please don't go to freecreditreport.com because free credit report isn't free. When you go to annualcreditreport.com, you will have the option of pulling your credit from the 3 major credit bureaus. They are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Please make sure you check your credit so there are no inaccuracies and that your credit is being reported in an accurate fashion. Another important tool is to make sure that if you sign jointly with your ex-spouse during your marriage, such as maybe for a car, a house, or a boat, and the divorce court ordered the other spouse to pay for the obligation, the creditor doesn't have to honor the divorce decree. They can go after whoever's name appeared on the contract. A third credit tool to help you in your new life is to make sure that you have credit. Maybe you've never had a bank account just in your name, or a savings account, or a credit card. Getting a new credit card or checking account or savings account will help to reestablish credit in your own name. The next tool you need to be aware of has to do with real estate. If you owned real estate during your marriage and one of you is keeping the property, you want to make sure that that property gets put just into your name. This is done by a quitclaim deed. You want to ensure that a quitclaim deed is signed and recorded in the county in which you live to make sure that you are the proper title holder of the real estate after your divorce. The last tool you want to be aware of has to do with your creditors. If you find yourself starting to sink and unable to pay your bills on an ongoing basis, you need to be proactive. The first thing that you can do is call your creditors and talk to them and see if you can't work out a lesser payment amount, maybe lower the interest or even stop the interest. The second thing that you can do is go to a reputable credit counseling company. If you do go to a credit counseling company, you want to make sure that you go to one where if you give them $1, that 99 cents of it is actually going to pay your debt. There are actually some credit companies that if you give them $1, 95 cents might go in their pocket and only 5 cents goes to your creditor. If you were to do this, it would be a long time before you're able to pay down on your debt. In trying to reduce your debt, many of my clients have looked to alternative sources for help. Some of these sources include borrowing against your 401k, maybe borrowing the cash value from your life insurance policy. Some of my clients have even waited till tax time, gotten their tax refund, and paid down some of their debt. If you find yourself in this situation, you may want to talk to a professional before borrowing against some of these assets. I would recommend you contact either your divorce attorney, a bankruptcy attorney, or a reputable credit counseling agency. The data on bankruptcy and divorce suggests that people need all of their planning skills, all of their financial wisdom, all of their wits about them at precisely the time they're at an emotional low tide. They need to make wise decisions quickly when they are distracted by 1,000 other thoughts unrelated to their financial circumstances. Unfortunately, the bankruptcy courts are filled with people who are adjusting slowly and painfully to their new situation. I wish you good luck and hope we never meet.